All right, let's jump right into this explainer. We're going to confront a universally accepted idea today, this deep-seated belief that our happiness is just waiting for us, right behind the next version of ourselves. You know the feeling, right? Like, if I just wake up at 5 a.m., force down some terrible green juice, read 50 self-help books, and finally fix all my flaws, well, then I can start actually living. We literally treat our lives like continuous optimization projects. But is that actually true?
Think about this. What if we aren't actually chasing personal growth at all, but we're simply, endlessly, postponing our own permission to be happy? Seriously, sit with that for a second. We operate under this unspoken assumption that we need clearance to feel joy, a clearance that is perpetually denied until we meet some arbitrary standard. We look in the mirror and we don't see a person, we see a to-do list. And that simple shift in perspective, from chasing growth to chasing permission, that changes the whole shebang when it comes to what we thought we knew about self-improvement.
So let's look at the illusion of endless improvement. We've got this habit of turning our lives into an endless project. It's like we act as this ridiculously strict inner editor who's constantly scouring the manuscript of our lives for typos. You know the drill. Need to lose weight, need to earn more, need to be more confident, need to be more successful. The sheer volume of these mandates is just staggering. We let this strict editor completely overwhelm us with the illusion that fixing these perceived flaws is the exact same thing as actually living our lives. But actually, scratch that, it's not living. It's a trap. It keeps us running on a treadmill, staring at a list of demands that somehow never, ever get shorter.
Which brings us to deferred happiness syndrome.
All of this builds into a massive paradox. We spend years, literally years, actively trying to improve, yet we never actually move an inch closer to inner peace. Why is that? Well, because we constantly push happiness down the road. We tell ourselves, when I lose weight, or when I find a partner, or when I finally become a better version of myself. But that when almost never arrives. Sure, we might reach the new milestone, but because we bring our old harsh self-evaluation system right along with us, nothing really changes. We hit the destination, but since we still view ourselves through that same lens of inadequacy, the new result doesn't magically create a new relationship with ourselves.
We end up completely exhausting ourselves trying to solve deep, internal, emotional issues with completely unrelated external achievements. Think about it. We try to cure our self-doubt by chasing shiny new achievements. We attempt to fix loneliness by seeking widespread approval. We try to manage deep-seated anxiety through rigid control. And we try to soothe internal pain by striving for absolute perfection. We are essentially taking the wrong medicine for the disease. And you know the most tragic part? When these external cures inevitably fail to fix how we feel inside, we mistakenly conclude that, well, we just didn't work hard enough. So we push ourselves even harder.
Here's the thing. The real problem isn't our flaws. Imagine battling your reflection in a mirror for years, totally convinced that if your appearance changes, your whole life will magically change. But eventually, it becomes painfully clear that the struggle was never about the reflection at all. The real question we are avoiding, the one hiding underneath it all, is this: can I be loved exactly as I am? Let's just pause and let that sink in. This hidden, terrifying fear of unworthiness is what's truly driving our frantic obsession with external makeovers. It's rarely just about the new job or the new body or the new relationship. It's this agonizing attempt to finally become acceptable. We change because we fundamentally believe we're unacceptable right now, in our current state.
So we have to look at growth versus self-rejection. Because there is a massive difference between changing because we want to and changing because we can't accept ourselves. True growth is born from a place of curiosity. It asks, who can I become? What am I capable of? It's an exploration. Self-rejection, on the other hand, is born entirely from fear. It basically screams, I have no right to stay like this. From the outside, both paths involve putting in the work, taking the course, or putting in the hours, so they look identical. But internally, curiosity moves forward with a profound sense of self-respect, while fear is just an exhausting, endless flight from yourself. And the terrible truth about running away from yourself is that wherever you go, well, you take yourself right there with you.
And we forget that life happens right now. Life has this stubborn, unavoidable characteristic. It absolutely does not wait to start until your self-improvement project is over. It is happening right now, in these exact imperfect circumstances. When we constantly fixate on our perfected future self, look at what we miss out on right now. We completely ignore the strength that got us through our hardest days. We discount our rich experience, our incredible endurance, and the remarkably unique, complex path that brought us here today.
We literally boil our entire existence down to one single flaw or one unreached goal, as if that one missing piece somehow dictates the entire worth of our personality. Crazy, right? But a person is always bigger than their problem. Let's really slow down here and give ourselves a moment to absorb this profound truth. No single flaw, no number on a scale, no bank account balance, or unachieved milestone can define the entirety of a human life. No way. You are larger than your deepest fear. You're greater than your most persistent pain and far, far more significant than whatever shortcoming your inner editor is screaming about today. Your history, your essence, it just cannot be canceled out by a perceived imperfection. Which leads us to change out of self-respect. As we wrap up this explainer, we need to get one thing absolutely clear. The goal isn't to stop growing, learning, or striving for better. Not at all. The goal is to fundamentally alter the foundation those changes are built upon. So ask yourself, do your changes start from self-hatred or self-respect? If your drive to change comes from a place of despising who you are right now, you are just signing up for another exhausting lap around that endless track. But if you change out of a desire to nourish and expand a life you already deeply value, well, then those changes will finally bring you the relief and joy you've been looking for all along. There's this idea that a person stops perceiving themselves as a problem to be fixed and begins to perceive themselves as a person worth caring for. True freedom arrives in the exact moment you embrace this shift, the moment you stop treating yourself as a broken project with endless typos and start treating yourself as someone worthy of deep, unconditional care. When you do that, change stops being a frantic escape from who you are. Instead, it becomes a beautiful, natural continuation of your life.
So, if you are already enough today, what will you choose to do tomorrow? Seriously, think about it. Take away the desperation. Take away the need to prove your worth to yourself or anyone else. If your value is already 100% secure, right here, right now, what incredibly beautiful things will you choose to build tomorrow? Thank you so much for exploring this explainer with me. I really hope it leaves you curious to discover what your own journey looks like when it's totally untethered from the burden of having to prove your worth.